Hello. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to use our online order entry webpage, Rapidship. We're going to be going over how to make an order, how to track an order, how to view and update your address book, how to create an order template, and then what to do with your user profile. To get started, we're going to put in our username and password. And once we log in, it's going to take us to the main page, which is the place order page. And we're going to get started by placing an order. First, we'll need to put in our pickup information, starting with the address. And what's great about the system is if you have information in your address book, which we can import pre-existing addresses for you, all you need to do is click where it says search my address book and start typing the name of the place you want to add as your pickup. So I want to make this pickup at Courier Express in Springfield. So I typed in Courier, and you could see it try to match what I had in my address book, and it came up with multiple entries, which will happen. And what I can do is I can, choose either one of these to have it pre-filled. Now, I know it's going to be 111 Corando Drive, so I'm going to click on that. And you can see that it put in all the rest of the information for me, which is perfect. Now, if something is missing, or if I need to add something or change something, I can go ahead and hit Edit Address. And it brings up all the address information. I can go through and add or remove or edit anything that I want. And I want to add that it's going to be going Attention Dan. And you can see that it brought that up there, which is perfect. Next, we want to add a good phone number. And this phone number would be something that either our dispatch team or our driver can call if they have any issue or any questions at the time of pickup. And then a contact person for that as well. Once that's done, we need to select the time that this is going to be ready to pick up. If it's ready now, you can leave it as ready now. Or we can select schedule later if we know that this item is not going to be ready to pick up until later today. I know that this isn't going to be ready till 4 o'clock this afternoon, so I'm going to go ahead and click on schedule later. And you can see that the date and time are selectable for me to change. Now, if I wanted to change the date, I can click on the calendar and then select whatever day I want, but it's going to be today. And then we're going to select the time. And once I click on this, we have to select the hour first, so it brings up this clock. And this is going to be in military time, where the outer circle is AM, the inner circle is PM, and for 4 o'clock in military time, that's 1600. So I'm going to select 1600, and there's our pickup time. Now, the last thing we can add are pickup instructions, and this would be anything that would need to be known by the driver at the time of the pickup, such as where this is picking up. And I could say dock in the back right side of the building. Perfect. Our pickup information is all set, so now we need to do the same thing for the delivery. Now this time for the delivery information, I know I don't have this in my address book, so I'm going to have to create a new address. So once I bring this up, it's going to give me an option to search through Google. And what I can do is type in a name, and it'll try to match it by searching Google and save me the time of having to type everything. So if I want to look for Target, for instance, I can, go ahead and select that, and it will try to auto-fill in all this information. I'm not going to deliver this to Target, though. This is going to our Hartford office, which I don't want to search here. I know it all offhand, so I'm going to enter it in manually. So we'll start with the name, Courier Express Hartford. The address, which is 30 Murphy Road, Suite C in Hartford, Connecticut. Now, I don't know the zip code offhand, which is perfectly fine, because what's going to happen is I'm going to click on Validate, and it's going to try to run this through Google Maps, and if there's anything wrong or missing, it's going to try to make suggestions for us. So I'm going to click on Validate, and look, it comes up with address verification. Select the correct address below to ensure a timely and accurate address. It has what I entered here, and it gives me a suggestion, which is perfect. It's giving us a zip code, which I was missing. Now, if it tries to give you a suggestion for something where you know was right how you entered it, you can go ahead and click here, and it will use what you entered. But we need the zip code, so I'm going to leave it like that and hit save. And perfect. It filled out all the rest of the information. Now, the phone number we can update here as well. If it's different, we could put in something different, but it's going to be the same contact person. Now, with the delivery schedule, it's going to mirror what's there for the pickup. So if you have it ready now, the delivery is going to be ready now. If you said it's scheduled later at 4 o'clock, it's going to do that here. But we can still change this. If it was picking up today but doesn't need to deliver until tomorrow, we can select that. Or if it needs to be delivered by a certain time, we can put that here as well. And I'm going to put this to 6 o'clock, so 1800. And then finally, delivery instructions, see receptionist. Perfect. With all that information there, we have a few bits of information left to enter in, and then we'll be good to place our order. Now the first options here are references and reference to. These two fields are entirely customizable. We can have it say whatever you want here, and we can make it required as well. Some of our customers, for instance, will have this say PO and require that a person put in a PO number at every order. But once again, these are entirely customizable. We can have it say whatever you want, or if you don't need that information, we can leave them blank, leave it not required, and we don't need to fill this out. One thing that we do need to fill out though is the billing group. And it's going to be required for every customer, but once again, these are entirely customizable, and we can have it say whatever you'd like. Some of our customers have it be, have them set up as cost centers. Some of them are people's names, locations, whatever you want. We could set it up for billing groups. What this does is it will separate it on the invoice and group them up by these billing groups, so you can see which billing group made which order. So for me, the demo customer I have here is a demo billing group. The next thing we want to select is the vehicle type, where it'll give us options for car, van, or truck. The car is going to be a standard size sedan. The van is going to be a cargo van, and the box truck is obviously going to be a truck is going to be a box truck. So I know with what I have, it's going to be able to fit in a car. So I'll go ahead and select car, and this will sometimes change the order types that you have available. The next information we need to put in is the total pieces and total weight. Now I just have a box that's about 100 pounds going from Springfield to Hartford, so I'm going to put that information there. Now if there was more specific information that you wanted to associate with this item, you can go ahead and click on add parcel, and it'll give us more options to choose. One thing is we can select what kind of item it is. So this is going to be a box, and it does have a barcode number associated with it, and I want to be able to track this, so I'm going to put in 987654321 because that's the barcode number that I have that's slapped on the box. The units in the container, which is perfect because this is one box, but I have 13 units in the container. And once again, it was 100 pounds. And then we could put the dimensions here as well. It's 24 inches by 12 inches by 24 inches. Then any comments we have. And we can hit create parcel. And you can see that it puts the barcode number right there. Now, this is important because if later down the road, I want to track this barcode number and find out where it went and who signed for it, I'll be able to search that in our track order feature, which we'll show shortly. So great, we have all this information together. Now all we need to do is select order type. Now the order types that you have on your account are once again entirely customizable. For the purposes of my demo account, I have demo routine and demo stat, but this can say whatever you want, like rush, same day, whatever you want. These are entirely customizable based on what you'd like us to have. So I know this order is set for 4 o'clock, delivering at 6, so it doesn't need to happen right away. By the parameters of these order types, I'm going to go ahead and select demo routine. Now the last thing we need to do is put in an email notification if we'd like. What I can do is put in my email address and click whether I want to get a notification when the item's been picked up or delivered. If I wanted to put in multiple email addresses, I can do that as well. So if you know there are a few people that need to know once this item's delivered, you can put their emails here, hit delivered, and once the item's delivered and has a signature, you'll be able to see that in your email. So perfect, we have all the information that's needed, so we're going to go ahead and click on place order. Now once you place the order, it's going to automatically populate the shipping label for you to print out, and it's going to have all the information we put on the order, such as the pickup information, the delivery information, the instructions, and you can print it if you'd like to and slap it on the box. You don't have to, but it can be helpful. I don't need that though, so I'm going to close out of it. And then it's going to give us some other information here. The first is the tracking number at the top. This is your order number, which you can reference when we go ahead and track order, or even if you call into our dispatch team and reference this number, we'll be able to look up that order for you. You can print the shipping label, you can email the shipping label. Not everyone's going to have these two options to cancel or edit the order, but if you do, you can cancel or edit the order. You can use the information that's in this order to create a template. You can create a duplicate order with the same information for pickup and delivery. You can create a round trip, which will put the delivery information as the pickup and the pickup information as the delivery. A continuation where the destination will be the starting point of the next order that you put in. Or you can create using the same origin or the same destination. So perfect. The next thing we want to take a look at, now that we have our order information, is we want to see what we can do to track it. So we're going to go ahead and click on track order. And you can see it already gives us some options to pick out. We can look by the last 10, last 50, even the last 100 orders, and it'll populate the information below here, and we can go ahead and cycle through them and see if we can find the one that we want. Or if we know certain information that we want to track, such as the order number, or in this case, the barcode number, we can go ahead and put that information here under tracking info. Now, there's also other options we can select. Instead of tracking info, we can click on this and we can look by location, address, city, all of this. We can put in, we want to see any order that was placed for Hartford, Connecticut, and any order that has Hartford, Connecticut will populate. But in this instance, we want to look under tracking info, and I'm going to put in my barcode number. If you wanted to search multiple barcodes, you can do that here as well, but we only have the one. So next we need to select the date range. So in this instance, if I know within the last 2 months I've placed an order with this barcode number, but I don't remember which date and I need to find it, we can leave this kind of open. But if I know it happened yesterday, we can narrow this down by clicking on the calendar and selecting the dates. If you want to have partial matches, you can go ahead and select this, but no, I need to find this exact barcode number. So I'm going to go ahead and click search. And look, it brought up the order that we had just made. Now here, it'll give us some of the information we're looking for. So we have the barcode number that we selected here, the 13 pieces, 100 pounds in a box, perfect. And we can see that it was ordered at this time. If it had been picked up or delivered, these fields would also be green. And if there was a signature, that information would be listed here as well. But we just placed the order, so no one has had time to do this yet. To look at other options, we can click on this menu on the right hand side of this order, and it'll give us kind of the same information and same options that we had once we made the order. We could, edit the order, we can cancel the order. Once again, these options are not going to be available for everybody, but we can have print receipt, email a shipping label, print a shipping label, create a duplicate, round trip continuation, all of those options. But if we click on view details, it's going to bring up the same thing we saw once we found the order to begin with. So perfect. The next thing we want to take a look at is your address book, which we can find on the left hand side where it says address book. Now any address you have saved is going to be listed here alphabetically. If you have a lot, they will all be listed. They might have multiple pages, but with this demo customer, I only have 2 addresses saved, which is under C for courier. And by clicking C, I can find those here. Now, once you find an address, you have a couple actions here that you can select on the right, where you can edit the address. So let's say, the office moved and I need to update it. I can click on edit address and I can add all the information here or change whatever I need to. In this case, I want to add a phone number because that information was missing. If I wanted to add comments for either the origin or destination, I could do that as well. And what this will do is it will put in this information anytime I place an order, so I don't have to manually type it. So anytime you go to this location, you need to see the receptionist, I will type that here. And anytime I make an order, it will put that in there. Now to take a look at a couple of the other options, you can delete this address. You can set this as the origin address. So anytime you go to place an order, this address will be pre-populated in there as the origin, or the same for the destination, which can save you some time. Finally, if you wanted to search your address book, so if I wanted to search for courier, you can click on that and it'll bring up anything that matches. Now, if you wanted to add a new address, we can click on new address here in the top right. And it's the same information that we had when we wanted to make a new address for either the pickup or the delivery. We can search through Google, we can put in all the information, we can hit validate, and then we can save it. So now that we've seen the address book and we've placed an order and tracked an order, let's take a look at how to make an order template. We can start by clicking order templates on the left. If you have existing order templates, you can search those here. But if you want to make a new one, we're going to go ahead and click on new template. First, you need to start by putting in a name. So I'm going to put courier to Hartford because I'm going to base this off of the order that we just put in. So I know every week, at least, I have an order that's going from Courier Express in Springfield to Courier Express in Hartford. So I put that there for the name. And then you need to fill in however much or however little of the order that you want to pre-populate anytime you select this template. First, we're going to have to start by putting in our pickup information, which I'm going to put Courier Express in Springfield. I'm going to put in the phone number because it wasn't saved to my address book. The contact is going to change, so I'm going to leave that blank. And this is always going to be ready at 4 o'clock. And then for the delivery information, it's always going to be going to Courier Express in Hartford. Because I put that phone number in my address book, it's saved this time. The contact's going to be different, but this is always going to be ready to be delivered at 6 o'clock. And then the billing group's always going to be demo. It's always going to be a car order, but the pieces and weight are going to change, so I'm not going to select that. And I'm not going to select the order type because there might be a time where this needs to get delivered right away. And then the email notifications I'm going to leave blank as well, because I might need to have different people get an email notification about this, and I don't particularly need to. So now that I have the information I need to pre-populate on this order, I'm going to go ahead and click on Save Template. And now that template's saved. If I look under Courier, I can see all the information I put in. And if I needed to edit it or delete it, I can choose those options here. And then I can even hit Create an Order, and it will populate all the information I have. I need to fill out the rest and hit Place Order. Now, let's say, for instance, we'll go back to Order Templates, that I just logged in. I'm at Place Order, and I want to use my template. You have these two options here at the top. Either you can create from a recent order, where you can search through orders that you placed recently, select which one matches, or you can create from recent templates. Well, that's what I'm going to select. And I have a few different templates here. I'm going to click the one that I just made, so that's going to be Courier to Hartford. And I'm going to hit Create Order. And look, it populated all the information I needed to put in to this order, and I just need to fill out whatever I left blank. So I'll look through this, finish it up, and then hit Place Order once I'm done. So the last thing I want to show you with Rapidship is going to be your user profile, which we can find here on the left. Now there's a few bits of information here that is good to have that will pre-populate whenever you place an order, such as your email. If you put your email address in here, it'll automatically assign it for email notifications at every single order. If you don't want that to happen, then leave this blank. The next thing is, if you ever want to change your password, this is where to find it, and it's going to be over here on the right where it says Useful Links. You can click Change Password, where you can put in your current and then your new and hit Submit, and there you go, you're all set. Now, if this is the first time using Rapidship, you're probably going to have a pre-generated password that was done by the person that made your user account. So when you first log in, it is always recommended that you change your password immediately. And a couple other options that we have here. If you always know that you're going to use a VAN, you can select the default service type so you don't have to select it every time. Now you can also choose your shipping label, which we don't really have many options for. You can choose how your order view is done, which I always recommend default. If you use reports, you can choose the reports that you have, and then you can also choose which notifications you receive. And then once it's done, you can go ahead and hit update, and it'll update your user profile. So perfect, we went over everything there is to know about Rapidship. If you have any trouble or questions, definitely let us know by either emailing us at info@courierexp.com or calling into the office at 413-730-6620. But to review, we went over how to place an order, how to track an order, how to view and update your address book, how to create and use an order template, and then how to update your user profile. If there's anything else that you need to know, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you.